Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here at Hendrick Honda in Bradenton, Florida, checking out this refreshed 2022 Honda Passport. And today I'm going to take you on the tour of it. So we're going to check out the exterior, interior, take a peek underneath the hood. And the end of this video, I'm going to take you for a spin in it. So if you're ready, let's go. Well, it's 2022 and Honda decided to give its Passport a much needed refresh, at least it's my opinion. Now this model has been around since 2018 and right now it's getting more of a mid-model refresh rather than a complete redesign. But this is not the first Honda Passport that was available or is available in Honda's history. Actually, the first one was introduced in 1994, and then there was a second generation from 1997 to 2002. But these were not really Honda vehicles. They were a Honda badge, but they were just a rebadged Isuzu Rodeos. So a lot of people liked them. Most hated them though because there were some quality issues. So maybe that's why Honda waited 16 years before introducing their own version of the Honda Passport. Now the previous generation was nice, don't get me wrong, but it was it missed the identity of a sport utility, if you will. This one is much nicer. The hood, quite small if you ask me, but it does have this nice bulge. I like the color of it. They call it the Sonic Gray. It really fits really nice with this Passport. And this is an EXL trim. So right now when you look at the Honda lineup, it actually is the bottom of the line. So it starts with the EXL and then goes up from there. So what I'm going to show you today is what you get for the base model Honda Passport. So let's get back to here. I like this grille. I like how it is the matte gray. It gives you that more rugged feeling, rugged look. Huge Honda emblem right in the middle. A little bit of the chrome because it is an EXL, so it's kind of fancy too, even though it's a base model. Love the headlights. Kind of a wraparound, very similar to the Ridgeline, very similar to the Pilot, that you have fully LED headlights. Now these are the projector style LED headlights. Daytime running lights right around here gives you that nice light signature over here. Bottom of the bumper, matte gray, just in case you do decide to take it off-road and pick up a few scratches on the way. And then you have fog lights right on the sides here, and this is an actual air intake, functional going in, so that allows more air to cool the brakes as well. So let's pop the hood and let's see what powers up this. Well, underneath the hood we have the tried and true Honda 3.5 liter engine producing 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. I said tried and true because they have it in the Odysseys and the Ridgelines and the Pilots and the Passports as well. Made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. I have the same engine in my Pilot. It's very nice, very quiet, very responsive, so there's really no complaints. I also like how this engine compartment looks like. Look how nicely organized and clean looking it is. Yes, it might be a pain in the butt to take this off for the mechanic to start working on it, but at least when you're looking at it visually, you don't see a bunch of wires like something exploded underneath the hood. Still does have the prop stick, so I'm gonna ding it for it. I don't like the idea of using the prop sticks, even not sure why manufacturers do it. So let's move on to the side. Let's check it out on the side here. It looks very similar to a Honda Pilot because it's their first cousin. It's its first cousin. It shares a lot of same characteristics, shares the same drivetrain, transmission, engine, etc. Even the interior looks very similar to that. But I like how the Sonic Gray color looks on this particular vehicle, and I like how Honda did it without the chrome. So basically all the trim is black with gray. Fits really nice. Even the wheels, if you take a look at those wheels, they're kind of gunpowder gray. They're not real aluminum wheels. I mean, they are aluminum wheels, but they're painted in this gunpowder gray color. Size of the wheels, 20-inch wheels, 265/45. That's the size of the tires. The vehicle sits about 7.5 inches off the ground. This is a front-wheel drive configuration. It would bump it up to about 8.1 inches ground clearance if it was a four-wheel drive model. What else do we see? Tops of the mirror, same color as the rest of the vehicle. Bottom is dark gray. It does have a turn signal incorporated in it. It does have the smart entry system, so press the button, it locks it. Put your key inside of it, it unlocks it. I like the windows. I like how many windows there are, including the front window behind the mirror. Gives you that extra visibility from the inside of the vehicle. And then this window right here gives you that extra brightness inside of the vehicle. Now, it's worth to mention that it is a two-seater. If you want a three-seater, you need to go with the Honda Pilot, because that third row seat is not available with the Passport. So let's move on to the back and see how it looks from there. Well, again, it's a similar design in the back as it is on the side to the Honda Pilot, but the only difference is that the lights are shorter. They don't go on the tailgate, they just kind of stay on this quarter panels. They're fully LED lights as well. Third brake light right in here. It does have the wiper in the back. I wish it was kind of hidden underneath here. It would make it for a nicer, cleaner look. And what I like about this too, see, a lot of vehicles would have like the trim which is shiny or chrome inside of here. Honda sticks to the black and gray, which really fits well with this particular vehicle. You have a Passport on one side, you would have a Touring, or maybe if it was a Sport Trail. By the way, that's a new trim that's coming out this year. It's not out yet, but that's the more rugged one. That's not available. So what else do we have here? We have reverse lights and the reflector lights underneath here. What I don't like about this vehicle, I don't really like the exhaust on it. I think that looks kind of out of place. They're too big, and well, that's just my opinion. But then the bottom portion of this bumper is also this matte black as in the front, and it doesn't have a tow hitch, but if it did, the front wheel drive would tow up to 3,500 pounds. If you opt in for an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, it will tow up to 5,000 pounds. Let's pop this gate open. Let's see how much room we have inside of it. All right, let's check out the roominess in here. I gotta tell you, it's got tons of room. By the way, 41 cubic feet of storage in the back behind the second row seat. So that's awesome. That's what you get when you don't need the third row seat. You get all this roominess in here, which is pretty cool. Now, what else is in here? You have the power outlet right here. You also have buttons to fold down the seats, and here's how you do it. Push the button, seat falls down. It's one way only. It doesn't go back up. You have to actually get inside of it and do it. Now, this particular vehicle has got this cargo mat, and underneath here you have an extra storage right here. And if you were looking for a spare tire, you gotta lift this part up a little bit more, and here's your temporary use tire and the tools to remove it with. At first I looked underneath it, that's where my spare tire is, and it wasn't there. But because of no third row seat, that creates all that storage underneath the floor. So that's what you get. Tons of room. Okay, it is a power gate, so let's close it and get inside of it. Well, guys, a lot of people love Honda for the practicality, functionality, roominess, and there's certainly plenty of room in here. I do have plenty of shoulder room, plenty of headroom. I'm not touching my knees to the seat. The seat can be adjusted, so this is a movable seat. Okay, it folds, okay, it reclines, but it also moves back and forth. So if you need more room for storage, you just move a little bit closer here. If you need more room for your legs, you move all the way back, and now you have all the roominess in the world. Well, let's check out the rest of this interior together. It is a dark interior, and it's all one color, which I kind of would like to see a little bit of a breakdown of maybe two color combination, but it is nicely padded. This is all nice and soft. This is a hard plastic. What it doesn't have that my Pilot has, and I really like, is this rear sunshade that's built into the rear door, but it does have some storage right underneath here, a speaker. And let's take a look at the seats. So this is a base model, and it's appointed with the leather trimmed seats, nicely profiled, nicely nicely contoured. There are different patterns right here. This is the perforated one, and you have the solid one. What's also important to mention, it does have this contrast stitching, and the middle seat can be opened up and then it can be used as a basically cup holders or armrest. Like I said, no bump in the middle here, so flat floor. And as far as functionality and connectivity, it does have 2 USB ports. It doesn't have the regular outlet, which my Pilot has, and it does have vents for the back. I'm not sure what you would use this part right here for. Too small for basically the phone or anything, but hey, maybe you'll figure it out. So seat back pockets in both seats, and regular sunroof, no panoramic sunroof, but again, we're looking at the base model here. Well guys, check this out. I just spotted this in the back of the lot. There's a Honda Passport, not sure what year it is, but that's a rare one. It is a 2-door one. They didn't make many of those. They're probably going to make it for a year or two. I think it was maybe in 97, 98, but that's a very rare vehicle to spot. So here it is. If you didn't know what the previous gen looked like, that's a rebadge, the Suzuki Rodeo with the Honda badge right in front of here. So there you go. Let's go back to our current gen one. Well guys, before we get inside of it, let's check the quality by closing the door. Boom, nice quality. Honda doesn't disappoint. Take a look at the front door really quick. So it does have basically the same characteristics as the rear door, but this is much more fun. Take a look at this. It's got 2 memory seats settings, so even with the base model EXL you get that. And now blacked out door handle and this trim that breaks it up a little bit, but it's so dark you can hardly see it. Now the mirror window controls, and then you also have the gate opener and the gas tank opener. But what's important about this, look how many little cubbies you have. You have one here. If that wasn't enough, you have one in the middle portion of the door right here, and then you have one at the very bottom. And of course you have this little reflector light if you open the door so people can see that this is open. Now speaker right here. As far as the seats, power seats, not only driver but also passenger power seat. And again, front seats leather wrapped, very nice, contrast stitching, etc., the whole 9 yards. Let's move on. Guys, we're on the interior of this 2022 Passport, so let's check this out. I gotta tell you, I like how Honda does their dashboards. They're not very boring. I mean, they have this 3 different levels right here. You also have, this is soft plastic, so this is nice to the touch. It also feels more quality than some of the competitors, so I like that. Nice steering wheel, very familiar interior as a whole to my Honda Pilot, so we're going to check that out starting right next to the steering wheel. So you have your mirror controls, you have your Econ button that basically adjusts the settings of the vehicle for maximum gas economy. Then you have your parking sensors. You can turn off your collision mitigation, you can turn on or off your lane keep assist or traction control. That's what you have, part of this vehicle, standard Honda sensing. Right there on the steering wheel itself on the left hand side, you have controls of what's going on right there in the middle screen, and we're going to go ahead and start it off in just a minute. And then you have your cruise control settings on the right hand sides. It is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel, so it is manual mode. So let me see if I have it all the way up. There you go. Moves. Let's see what the range of motion is. Just a regular range of motion. And then we're going to turn this vehicle on, because even though it is January, it is getting toasty here. So just like any of the vehicles, Honda, I push the brake pedal, this goes white, turn it on, vehicle is on. This what indicates the vehicle being on. It is turns red. So what's in the screen right here? It's telling me that I'm not wearing my seat belts, and then I'm the only occupant in the vehicle basically. So press enter to dismiss. So now we have road departure mitigation off. You can turn that on if you'd like to, or just gonna dismiss it, and then we're gonna see what's going on right inside of here. So main screen just looks like on my Pilot, showed high-def strip computer, then you have your phone connectivity, then you have your now playing what's on the radio, maintenance, you'll get in the messages. Now right now it says oil life probably 100%. There you go, it's a brand new vehicle, 16 miles on it. And seat belts, that gives you that screen that I showed you in the first place. right there, and settings. As far as the vehicle settings, you can arrange apps, show tachometer, and that's basically it. Now this is customizable. You also have a tachometer right on the top, speedometer right below that. It also tells you which gear you're in. Left hand side you have the temperature. On the right hand side you do have a fuel gauge, and that's it. That's the middle screen right there. Let's move down to the infotainment system. Standard Honda 8-inch infotainment system. That's been around for a while, and same thing I have on my Pilot. So if you hit home right here, go to the main menu, phone settings, FM, AM, Bluetooth audio, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both wired, unfortunately not wireless. It is a touchscreen, by the way. So you have the Sirius XM, USB, social playlist, auxiliary input, system updates. That's interesting because it will give you system is up to date right now, but if there is an update, and I just recently had to complete mine, it does over the air updates, which is a nice feature because my infotainment system was acting up after I've done an update. It works much better now. So messages, that's SMS messages, my Honda Music, Honda Link. So that's basically what you have in here. Now, does it have a navigation? It doesn't, but it does have, like I said, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you can actually have your own navigation. Home, that's basically where you at, and then you can have the brightness controlled here, turn it off, turn it on, etc. Right underneath here you have your climate control settings, and that's automatic climate control. You have dual zone, you have actually tri-zone because you have one for the rear, so different for the passenger, different for the driver. You do have a sync button if you want to sync all of them up, and that's actually, I'm gonna turn that off, and let's see, I'm gonna change my driver settings so you can see when I hit the sync button, it's all gonna sync to the driver settings. Rear fan on or off, rear settings. Then you do have front windshield defogger, rear mirrors, rear window defroster, and the mirrors are heated actually. So that is it. Now you do have heated seats, little storage maybe for a phone. You do have a wireless charging pad right here. As far as the outlets, you have a regular USB and a regular power outlet. Same type of drivetrain as I have on my Honda Pilot. You do have your push button one, and then this is a drive, or push it one more time and gives you in the sport mode. So literally two driving modes, actually three. One, you have a snow one, normal and snow, and that's, I'm not sure what that does in a two-wheel drive version. And then you can turn off your automatic engine on and off button. So fairly simple. I mean, there's nothing too crazy about this interior of this Passport, but it is functional. I like how much room you have right here. Check this out. Look how much room you have. And then you have another power outlet, you have another USB charger, and then you can close all of this with this nice trim. I wish, why don't they use this trim in more places around the car? I think that would be so cool. Now, okay, you have the home link in your mirror right here. You have a regular sunroof. Okay, so this is a tilt and slide sunroof. Okay, this is how much room you get. I don't think a panoramic sunroof is available, and this is a manual sunshade if you want to close that. Other than that, you just have your regular lights, and this is it. Now let's take that on the road. Well guys, I'm about to take this vehicle for a spin. Before we do that, let's talk about some trim levels that are available and what they cost. So the Honda Passport, this is the base model, and what's nice about Honda, not only this one, then when you get a certain trim level, everything that you see on this particular one, you get standard. So you'll get those leather seats, you get the sunroof standard, you get those alloy wheels. This is no added equipment on to this one. I want to post that in the description of the only feature that was added to it, and that's that pearl color, that was sonic gray color that was added to it, and it's only $395. Everything is standard. Now if you wanted to move up to a all-wheel drive that would be another $2,100. That's how much Honda charges to have a four-wheel drive model. So let's see the different trim levels. Like I said, this is a base one, and that starts at $37,870 plus destination. Then Trail Sport, which is going to be the more off-roady one. I'm kind of excited to see when it comes out. It's probably a couple months out before we see any of them on the road, and that's got a different cladding, a different wheels. As a matter of fact, it's got 18-inch wheels, so it's going to have beefier tires. I believe it's the same ground clearance and might bump it up just a little bit, but it looks a little bit more aggressive. It looks cooler. So the Trail Sport at $42,470, and then the Elite starts at $45,340. The Trail Sport and the Elite are available in all-wheel drive, so the only two-wheel drive or front-wheel drive version you can get is the vehicle like this one, which is the EXL model. Now, the all-wheel drive with Honda is the IVTM4 mode, which is variable torque management system, and that's actually a pretty cool system. It constantly monitors the wheels, the torque needed to each wheels, front or back or each one separately, and then it sends that torque to those wheels. As a matter of fact, on my Pilot, I can see the map of it on the screen, which I believe you see that on the four-wheel drive Passports as well. So if you're getting one, make sure you check out that feature. Before we take that on the road, let's take a quick look at the rear view camera. So it does have those three different angles in here. It does have the wide angle, this is the wide angle, narrow angle, and the top down view. So in case you're towing something, this would be your view for the camera. Quality is decent. Again, I say that it should be a 360, but I don't think the 360 is available even on the highest trim level with Honda. So let's move. We're going to check out the turning radius on this Passport. Is it me or the steering wheel feels a little bit thinner than on my Pilot? It might be. Alright, so let's get the wheel all the way. Let's turn it. No surprise there, is as tight as it can be. It probably takes about maybe 4 parking spaces, just about the same as on the Pilot, but Honda's always been known for a great turning radius as well. Overall, the vehicle feels all together, it feels solid, it feels like it's put together very well. Here are the few speed bumps right here, it handles that well as well. Here, this is not a vehicle for off-roading. Now, even though it is off-road capable, I mean, I wouldn't probably take it off the beaten path too much. Maybe just on the regular gravel or, you know, in the snow, but certainly this is not a rock crawler or anything like this. But, you know, if you're going camping and you need to go through some sand or dirt road, I mean, that might be a perfect vehicle for you. It feels very well, and with the Honda quality and dependability, you certainly have a vehicle worth looking into. Now we're going to check out the acceleration here in just a second. There you go, let's go. And we're in traffic, so we're not going to be able to check that out much, but hopefully we're going to get on the other street that's going to be more open, and we'll get to check that out. Now, like I mentioned before, it is a very well put together vehicle. It feels solid. I like that. What else about this Passport? I wish it had the navigation, but you can get it at the higher trims. Right? Hopefully that street right here is going to be less busy, so I'm going to be able to open it up a little bit. It's on throttle right here. Nice and solid. I mean, it's probably about 7-second car or so. I mean, it's not the fastest one out there, maybe just a little bit over. I put it in the sport mode, and I find it a little bit more too jumpy in my car. Let's see if it's the same on the Passport. Actually, it feels better on the Passport than on my Pilot. The same drivetrain, definitely. I mean, I like it. I like how more aggressive this sport mode is here. So definitely, if you are getting into one, check it out, because that is a different feel of the vehicle. Now take that back to the dealership in just a little bit. Overall, I think I like it. I mean, I don't know if this would be my choice. Obviously, I have family, so I do need the third row seat, but I can see people looking at it. Definitely a solid vehicle. I like the redesign of it. I like that more muscular, more bulky front grille. Definitely looks better than the previous generation one. Drive-on is okay. Pricing, it's competitive with other ones. If you're looking for an off-roader, you might want to look elsewhere, but if you're looking for a vehicle that you're gonna take off the road once in a while, this might be a good choice for you. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I brought a little bit of value into your life. If you like watching videos like this, consider checking out the rest of my channel. Hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, keep me pumped up, and until then, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.